a daddy Mac. Dan's 30 years got our way, trading life and markets every day. Rusty's chained to the mines, digging deep day by day. But when Option Omega releases new features, he's free to come out and play. Option Omega, you're trading home, where every move makes you feel less alone.
Good morning, Vietnam, as they say.
Good morning.
Wow, I like that.
I hope you guys are doing well this morning. This is a weird spot to be in. It's cold in Knoxville, but as I said yesterday, I don't know if I said this publicly or not. I told to Dan, my sweet father-in-law got me a buddy heater for a project that we're working on, and I just straight away used it outside. And it's toasty this morning on my legs, at least. It's that weird spot where like my legs are in Miami, but my upper half is in winter.
What is a buddy? A buddy heater is not that must be a Southern thing, because we don't use that phrase up here. Now I'm familiar with all sorts of.
The technical term, I think, is a big buddy.
Okay, sure. I got it.
Big buddy.
There you go.
So
I think those are helpful.
Yeah.
Troy, you made me think of I didn't mean to look as you were going around there, but I saw a heavy bag. Am I correct?
Well, you've officially kind of gotten into my life a little bit, Dan. I do have a boxing bag because I'll tear anybody up. Listen, I'm nonviolent, but I don't want you to think that I'm nonviolent on my porch. A punching bag on the front porch. That's like the original Ring camera. That's like you know what I'm saying? That's the original Ring camera.
Like beware of the dog. Here's the dog.
Exactly right. I just realized how low class that. In real time, I'm realizing how low class it is that I have a punching bag on my front porch.
You gotta look. It's like I think that's people have dogs to deter people coming in. If you just leave a punching bag on the front porch, you're telling people you want to mess.
Yeah, You're saying I have a record of some sort.
Yeah.
And I don't need the smoke in my life. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Saying that to say, I might have to take my jacket off. It's a little toasty.
Buddy's working is what you're saying.
My buddy's doing his job. FOMC yesterday, guys. Takeaways. Powell has aged 15 to 20 years in the last 8 years.
I mean, we can have a macro discussion and then our opinions, but we don't always share opinions, but we always do. I don't know. Troy, what did you think? What's the news? We're cutting 0.25%.
Yeah.
When I say we, none of us have anything to do with it.
That's right.
Jay Powell. We don't even know how much Jay Powell has to do with it, to be honest, do we?
I think that my read on it is the guy likes his job and the guy feels like his job's important. The guy is like under siege by everything. And it makes me realize, like, I feel bad. It's a classic thing. I don't know. It's an interesting thing through history. I feel bad for the next guy. I've heard who the alleged next guy is. The next person. I've heard him give interviews. He's very sure of himself and his approach to the markets. And it's going to be a really interesting press conference the first time that it's not going according to plan.
But
you know what I mean?
To get the it's just, we're in a weird time where, the president is acting like us, right? Saying, hey, he should have lowered it a 0.5 point, right? And I'm like, come on, it's okay to be a cheerleader, but keep it, you kind of got a role called the president, hey, stay out of the guy's lane, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and
Well, the whole and it's if you don't want to stay out of his lane, I get that. It's a larger discussion though that's not based on one person.
yeah,
That's the thing. I mean, that the whole point of the Federal Reserve was independence. Now, should it be? Again, that's a question for a different day. But of course, if every admin had its druthers, they would cut interest rates. That's a historical.
I have a slightly contrarian take on all of this,
I like
Please.
it.
which actually directionally aligns with what you guys are saying. Here's the thing. My contrarian take is simply this. I think the Fed is very political, and I don't think now is any way different at all. It's just more
Mm.
honest. Trump's just doing it in public.
Mm.
I think the Fed, and now listen, I'm just like, we're laymen looking at this from the outside in. So my opinion is based on my own viewpoint, experiences, and filtering what I see. And then a book that I read called Fed Up. So if you have an opposite perspective of this book, you're not going to agree with me. But one of the main takeaways I had from that book is that the Fed is highly partisan, extremely political. And it has always been since there's been a Fed. My I was a Ron Paul guy back in the day, and Ron Paul is famous for a couple things. His meme, his "It's Happening" meme, but also, I mean, he talked a lot about ending the Fed. The Fed hasn't been around forever, and I would personally be much more in favor of a more market-driven interest rate pricing rather than a policy-driven interest rate pricing at a high level. And if you want to read more about the Fed, I thought "End the Fed" was a good read. It's by Danielle Booth. Yeah, I think it's always my contrarian take is that like it's not that political now. It's just more honest because
Yeah.
it's always been political.
I get that, Matt. Listen,
Which is kind of what you said that
But
every
this is-
administration always wants to cut.
but this is why it's so funny to me. Like, I get that. I understand what you're saying. And as someone, I feel it's such a nuanced conversation because I too was a Ron Paul guy. And I too, I mean, in my heart of hearts, is still kind of a Ron Paul guy. But I don't, when I hear that though, like the idea of that they've always been partisan, the most straightforward one, and I just want to get your sense of it. Are you saying that basically during Republicans, they raise interest rates and during Democrats they lower interest rates, or vice versa? Or like, what do you mean when you say?
No, I think it's dependent. I don't think it's. I think it's more situational than that. I think there's times when, all I'm saying is that like there's this public perception that the Fed is this like independent lay body that's got like 20,000, like it's a big organization. That's something else you'll learn. It literally, they have like,
it's too big.
yeah, they have like 20,000 people writing, like basically academic level dissertations all the time that supposedly they make these decisions on. And I'm just thinking, man, J-Pow, you just need to move in with an upper class family for a month, move in with a lower class family for 5 months, move in with a middle class family for 3 months, and go shopping with them and see their bills and pay their bills. And I bet that would do more to get a realistic handle on what it's like than all these academic papers. That's just my take.
That's a great point. Spending more time with the people, right? And
yeah, it's the Diet Coke. The Diet Coke reading. Forget the CPI. You need the DCI. What's the Diet Coke index? How much can you get a 12-pack of Diet Coke for at Kroger? When they are 2 for $12, inflation is high. When they are 4 for $12, inflation is low. It's like I'm being slightly,
No, but I think you're hitting it. And even look at, for common man, I would look at like I look at it, maybe 4 things. You could look at a cup of coffee, a hamburger, gallon of gas, or, the basic stuff we do. And you just know when those numbers get up, right? I mean,
yeah,
when you start getting past $5 for a cup of coffee, or whatever,
yeah,
it's just insane.
Their way of doing the modeling, I think, is poor. And a lot of these indicators, even this like mythical 2% inflation target, it's like, why do we take like, there's just a lot there. Like, why do we take that as gospel? Why do we take that as a target? Like, that's why I'm kind of like this whole thing. I'm just like,
I agree, but I guess my takeaway from it is to say, like, it makes it that much more funny to me that someone thinks they're going to come in and fix it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like that Trump's going to be
anybody, I don't think.
Well, Trump's like, I'm going to put my guy in. We're going to lower interest rates. That's what the Fed should do. It's going to be great.
It's not going to fit. I mean, that's a temporary thing.
Oh, it's a temporary thing. That, I mean, this is the nuance. Like you take down the road of like, and we'll end it here as I get to have last say on everything. Just my favorite. I'm happy to keep going. It's even the idea of saying like, Powell needs to go middle class family, high class family, low class family. Well, what he's going to find is that lower class to middle class, and probably even more now a little bit than ever, some high class are going to finance most of their decisions on any given day. So you're going to walk away and you're going to say, well, we need to lower interest rates.
Yeah.
Right. But then the other side of it is to say the only way actually out of that is to raise interest rates in the long term.
Right.
If you understand anything about like, rates and things like that. Yeah. So to Matt's point, I mean, I'm not a fan of the Federal Reserve because, and this was kind of Ron Paul's thing in 2008. We need to have a lot more mini recessions. We need to have a lot more mini bad times, and to where what that does is basically it regulates the inflation rate.
I agree 100%, and I think there's a very low chance of that happening. As we've seen since COVID, anytime there's the hint of it, I mean, there's a variety of ways to turn on the money printer, and the last couple administrations have found a lot of them. So I agree 100% on that. Yeah. So
if you look at real quick, changing the subject real quick, I'd like to confess this. Right before the show, someone I love in the options Discord, Tom Lee, and I'm still, I just haven't been historically, if I teach or whatever, I'll do live classes. I'll answer a million questions. I like people, and I'm slow I'm trying to get better at the Discord, or the old way was forums, and I love I'll go in and watch some of I think the OO Discord, bar none. It's phenomenal. Right. And, but so Troy had me go today and type in, because I've been, Tom will say some things in there, or mention, and I just not used to going in there, and I put in there, good morning, Tom. And I've been distracted so far the whole show here, because some of the memes, I didn't even know what memes like up until I started going in the Discord here. These are phenomenal. I mean, these are like, I told my wife, I'm looking, she goes, what are you doing with the meme? I go, some of the memes they put in, I will give the top. I mean, if you're looking here, these are just.
Well, let me go ahead and share this day.
Can you share the one that?
Yeah, we will. I mean, we talk about Tom. I mean, basically, as soon as we get done on the mornings before the show starts, as soon as the show ends, we basically just talk about Tom the whole time. And I told Dan this morning, I said, listen, there's a joke in the Discord that's my favorite joke, which is that someone will at you, and Tom will say he's not going to answer. He's afraid. He doesn't answer. And I told Dan, I have to get you to go in there and immediately answer that one person whenever that happens, just for Tom's sake. Yeah. So I told him we got to do. I don't like that. I don't like that message. Tom's hormones are going crazy right now. I don't like that. But Wizzy,
show him that one's phenomenal.
Wizzy, picture of the year, and probably the greatest use of artificial intelligence I've ever seen.
It's unbelievable.
So this is Tom this morning. Oh
my! God. No, Tom is. You got to let them know. Tom is Scottish.
Yeah, or lives in Scotland. I don't know if he's Scottish or not. He might be American.
See, and it's even more funny to me, because I grew up being Irish in Chicago and the Irish culture. being like what do you call a bagpipe and drum band, we would wear kilts to some of the, some of the parades and different things. So when I saw it, this is just precious. This one, I'm putting it up on the other memes, the two other ones. Tom did one with The Rock. Is that his name? And then other gentlemen put another one. We're not, but it's. If you want to laugh and learn, there's no better place to laugh and learn than the Option Omega Discord. The guys are phenomenal and they have a great sense of humor.
This is my nightmare, really, because I know Dan's family, the sweetest family in the world, very loving people, and they're literally his wife is going to sit here and be like, they're turning you into 14-year-olds. He's just going to be mean. He's going to go around his family saying words like, y'all are being sus. He's going to say 6'7". He's going to say all the stuff that
I love it. Yeah.
So anyway, listen, we'll go on to some tests, but Dan, I want to acknowledge this. Dan does see the Discord, but Dan gets a lot of messages. And so, Tom, this is the official acknowledgement. I can't say he'll come whenever you pray ask him to. But he will, you better watch out.
See, I'm used to email. If Tom could email me anytime, and I will go. I just got to get used to the Discord. But I enjoy the Option Omega Discord. I like the test strat room, because that's where you come with your test, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And that's where I think it's like, we've been watching this on TV a little bit lately. The bakers in the UK, this baking show, and they'll bring these people on. But I feel like in the option strat, which is great, somebody can bring their cake that they make, right? Their strat, and bring it before the judges, the experts that are very good traders, and they're good at the back testing. And they do a great job. I'd love to see a reality show. They do a great job of helping the person, but with a very nice sense of humor, saying, listen, if you come in here just wanting the test, we want to help you to learn it, to do it yourself. So they will give you enough, but trading is it's something
you have to work at it. We put out a thing yesterday, kind of like, tell us your story, share your testimonial with OO. And it was pretty interesting because publicly a couple people posted and they're like, man, I'm having a really tough time, blah, blah, blah. And then privately, we also got messages that were like the other extreme of like, we've had multiple people tell us OO has changed their life. Listen, people want to make money trading options. And that's what this, like, to your point, Dan, that's what this community helps people do literally every day.
At a high level.
Yeah. And I've said before, like, if you want to do trading, like as a more than just piddling around, that you got to have a community. You need to find some community. So, and ours is the best I've seen. So, we talk about back tests, automations, all that stuff all day long. Troy, you got a back test for us? You got something? Anything? Got a big sneeze?
I do.
He's so hot right now from his little buddy space heater that he's
it's a weird problem to have a heat stroke on when it's 35 degrees outside. But
we got freezing rain here. It's just
I hear the Midwest is getting
it's just gorgeous, guys.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's wonderful.
I'm gonna unmute and I'm gonna learn. I have forgotten how to do most anything for some reason. I don't know what those sneezes did. Okay, here we go.
You auto deleted. There it is.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, sure can.
So speaking of what Matt just said, we're reaching out because here's the thing. We're a business. We market to people, things like that. And one of the things that we've always tried, I'm actually going to go full screen because this is an emotional speech. We have always tried to not be the Lambo people, although we might rent Lambos next year. I don't know. Yeah. But one of the things that we'd rather market with are people's stories, because we can say it's the best back tester in the whole world, and we could say it's the best automation platform. That's what everybody does. Everybody thinks they have the best. Let the people say whether it's good or bad or not. And so that's what we're doing. So we're kind of like year in, getting ready for New Year's, a bunch of new stuff. We have, we've released a lot of products this year, and we've just going to say it. We've made some hires that I think you guys are going to be really excited about. That
the team is growing.
The team is growing, and we'll address that more in the new year. But one of the things that we are trying to do basically is we want someone who is, we've said this for months now, SPX is a great product. It's what we all trade, right? But SPX is a huge product. And we have the tools in the backtester and automation and modeling and all that stuff to be able to trade smaller, and for you to get your lumps without breaking your bank. And that's the way that we're going to approach things. So I give you this now, and this is a small account challenge, but I'm being very upfront with you too. You all see trialing marketing, because we want, when someone signs up for a trial, we don't want to inundate them with like, here's a SPX EMA strategy where you risk $4,000 to make $400.
And that
might be awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome. I have that test.
Yeah.
But that's not going to, if you lose your sequence risk, when you start that trade, can be the determining whether you keep back testing or not, right? You guys all know this, right? When you started trading, like in the community, in the chat, like if the first 5 tests that you ran, you lost, whether they're accurate, whether it matched the back test or not, the accuracy has nothing to do with it. The emotional accuracy of what you thought was going to happen to what happened does not align, right? And so we're trying to help people in that process. So I give you the 30-minute SPY EMA. Matt and I have been working on this. Matt's got some versions too. We'll look at maybe tomorrow, but
yeah.
Matt, what is this?
I mean, this is a really simple JSP, and kind of the idea.
What is a JSP? What is it?
A JSP is a just sell put. This is a just sell put spread. So we call them JSPs, but it's a spread. So you're selling a 25 delta 5 wide. Now this is on SPY. So 5 wide on SPY is something different than a 5 wide on SPX. But one of the things that you can do is if you run this back test in SPX, it works on, if you change the parameters, change the slippage, change the fees to make it SPX level, it works. It works as, I think, a 5 wide, which would be like a half wide on SPY, which is not something you can do. It works better as a 50 wide. But a 50 wide on SPX, to Troy's point, is how much? 150 wide is, that's $5,000. So your risk is $5,000 minus your credit. And so putting it on SPY allows for that wider capture, more premium capture. But because it's on SPY, it's not a $5,000 risk every time.
And Dan, I mean, we've talked about this before, but is our premise correct? I mean, if someone, I call it the emotional accuracy. You think that you're going to make $10,000 a month on a $12,000 starting capital, and then suddenly you're down $5,000. Do people keep trading?
Absolutely not. And you lose people constantly. I mean, I had this conversation with somebody at a brokerage firm one time, and he says, every 3 months we need a new group because they're not making money. I said, you think about maybe some kind of training or something? Maybe you could keep them around longer. But yeah, I think it's strictly, it comes down to one thing: the size. Keep them going for, and again, if you can keep them smaller trades, keep them going 6 months or a year, they may stick, right? If they can stick with it and not chase the craziness. Let me just say one thing here on SPX. You can do, if you do a 5-lot credit spread at a 25 delta in SPX, your margin would be 500 less your credit. So you can do it in and again, depending on the volatility, let's say you get 70 cents for a 5 wide Oh, that's a 0 day, right? I'm sorry.
Zero
That's
day.
a 0 day, but I don't know, maybe you could get, I don't know what would it be 60 cents? And it depends on the vowels, but you can do it under $500 for a 5 wide put credit spread. But I agree with Matt and Troy. SPY is the single A, double A, and triple A ball club of SPX. And it's a wonderful vehicle, and you should park in there, right? And it's like, stay in the triple A ball club, stay in there until you can follow a back test, 3-4 months, and leave it alone when it's losing. Because if you can't build up the calluses on your hand and SPY, why would you think promoting the SPX will solve your problems? I remember having a guy one time say, you know what? I'm not having much success trading the $5,000 that you say. I think I'll do better on 30 or 50 grand. And I'm like, that logic isn't really, if you're not, no. So I think SPY is a wonderful vehicle, and with the modeling tool and the back testing, you can do SPY, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
you
a wonderful,
can do
and the
SPY.
liquidity is just beautiful.
Yeah. And Manfred, we're looking into Manfred 7428. Sorry. We're looking into XSP as well. This test will get you out pre that. And it's obviously SPY is going to be more liquid. We've said this. Matt has coined this term. XSP is the Hotel California.
I didn't coin it. I just stole it. Shout out to the Discord.
Stolen valor.
Here's the short version. I'm going to interrupt Troy. We're probably never going to have XSP in the backtester, but as an automation, sure, it's a potential, and a lot of people have asked for it. So the thing is, there's certain automations and backtests that it would be fine for if they're a ride or die, because all you have to do is worry about entering. If you try to do something like some of the backtests will show on XSP, like a multi-day or a time spread, pain upon exit may be inflicted. So
basically, if you have to exit XSP, it's a problem.
Yeah.
If it's a ride or die, then you just have to account for slippage.
Yes,
that's the thing. Now,
Troy, did you play with this at all? About maybe like I was just thinking, like a delta rail. If that 25 delta of your short put hit 50, or if the 25 hit, I know it's 0 day. That's a different animal. Have you played with that at all, like delta rail or something when it gets to a certain?
Not yet. One of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to. Basically, I have an SPX version of this where you're literally risking 400 or 4,000 to make 400, right? And it wins a lot, and it's a good test. But when you can do it in one of two ways, and I want to invite you both, Research Army, to do both. So I put the test in the chat. I put the test in the OO discussion channel. We depend on our community to kind of like do research. We don't have a research team. And so obviously we don't want you to show us your best trades that you're not willing to, the stuff that you find to be by yourself. We're never going to put that on the show. But if you're putting stuff in the Discord, we're talking about things. We're trying to figure things out together, ideas, structures. We want you to help us with this, because we basically you can do it one of two ways. You could improve this trade with SPY, or to Dan's point, if you could find an SPX EMA trade that's risking at a max $400 to $500, by all means. But the point of it, the structure of it is you can't be risking. Think about it. If you were a new trader and this is your first options trade, how much do you think they should risk? That's the way I would approach this test. So this is kind of like a high school level stuff, maybe college level stuff, where it's like, and sometimes we'll be like, hey, see if you can find the one thing that's better. And sometimes those are easy. This is a little bit more theoretical. Say, you can change this test as much as you want. I would ask that you try to use EMA, right? It doesn't matter to me though, really, at the end of the day. That one's more negligible. But try to find something that's not risking a lot of money. And that's a heuristic that you kind of have to figure out what you have to do, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. I would love to talk more about this tomorrow. So we've got some pro guys in here that this is what they do. They find these tests that we start with and they make them a lot better. One thing I'll note, you don't want to filter. We talk about this all the time. You don't want to over filter. So don't get this below 200 trades, right? Like you don't want something under 200 trades in 3 years, right? You want 420 is a drug reference that I've heard a lot growing up, but 420 is a good healthy number also that I think is good. So Matt, Dan, you got anything else you'd say about that test?
No, I mean, we have some variations with stop losses and stuff, but Dan, what do you think?
No, I was going to say, could one of you spend a couple minutes on just for someone maybe newer, the last 3 bullet points, VIX max 100, VIX, and just give a visual of that. Is it saying, because you're thinking VIX max 100, but
VIX max 100 is simply a reference point for me to see on the trade log. And shout out Stephen V. I think Stephen V is the one who did this one day, and I was like, "What's he doing?" And I was like, "Oh, he's doing it so he can see opening VIX."
Yeah,
you put a crazy max VIX so you can just see what the VIX is.
Yeah, and you can take that off. I mean,
yeah, you can take that off. It's not affecting the trade at all.
And how about those other 2 bullet points after that?
So VIX overnight move up at all. So you only put this on if the VIX opens up, 0.01 point, right? And so any basically move on so an automatic filter is basically, did the VIX open up? Okay, now we're in play. If the VIX opened up, next, are we above the 30-minute EMA? And for those new to testing, basically you go in here. We have used technical indicators, and we're using EMA above 30. You can test different things if you want. And that's kind of it. The other thing is it's a floating entry time. So it's anytime we're above 30-minute EMA between 9:32 and 11:15. So it's a test that kind of just sets. It opens when it opens. It opens when that criteria matches.
Is it basically saying in most days, the market may open down a little bit, and then once it starts moving up,
exactly,
you jump on the train?
That's exactly right. Yep.
Okay. Well, would you say on these trades, looking at the log here, wouldn't these be about $450 in margin? Like the first one, 55-cent credit. So it's going to be the same margin as an SPX 5 wide, basically.
That's right. Just with the advantage of being able to do the equivalent of a much wider spread, which has a better premium capture rate.
Good point. And that's the thing is SPX 5 wide, as far as I've seen so far, and I would love to be proven wrong on this. A 5 wide just doesn't perform as well.
Good point. The premium capture, because you're right, 5 wide and SPY is like 50 wide.
50.
That's right.
This is the equivalent of 50. Yeah. So otherwise you're getting like 10 cents on SPY.
That's right.
Credit received. So but listen, go to it, post it the discussion channel, improve upon it. I'm excited. And then I'm going to say it again. I'm going to remind everybody every day because it's going to be the most joyful time of the year. It's not going to be the most joyful time at Christmas. It's the most a couple days later is the most joyful time of the year. But December 22nd, it's in the events on OO. It's on our YouTube, the Christmas party. And I just want to remind people, this ain't going to be no 30-minute Christmas party. This is a 4-hour extravaganza. Matt probably playing multiple instruments, singing. Rusty playing instruments. Troy, I will probably pre-record a couple Christmas songs with different camera angles at the piano. You think I'm kidding? Challenge accepted.
I don't think you're kidding.
No, you think?
Is anybody challenging Troy on this?
You said it. That's that guy. That's that guy. That
Troy, is there any possibility that we can maybe? Here's my thought, and leave this up to the chat. If the 3 of you, if we can kind of pick a song, like my vote would be Jose Feliciano, Feliz Navidad. The 3 of you, just to see you strumming hard on the guitar, see Matt strumming. But I'd like to see at least maybe a song requested by the folk that the 3 of you would do to lead off the show.
As we're trying to drive viewership here, I don't think anybody else is.
We're trying to drive viewership.
Yeah, if you guys want to put your own,
if you want to
yeah,
record a Christmas song, send it to
Yeah,
Troy on the
Christmas
Discord
song.
along with your own testimonial.
but we will have musical numbers. I promise you that. And we do have some special guests lined up to stop by, like those old Lawrence Welk shows where John Wayne just happens to be in the studio and just walks through the pretend door.
Yeah.
And they're like, John, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
We're going to have some of that as well.
That's good.
We've got some special guests. So I love it. And Matt, I accept your challenge. I will do the thing of just doing a bunch of musical numbers, and we'll go from there. So, all right. On that note, listen, be safe out there. FOMC Day is the day after. Dan talked about this yesterday. FOMC is not over. The party, the next 2 days, there's a little bit of a party.
And you can make a good argument. You know, if you look at the futures, you've had almost 80-point range in the futures that if you are trading E-minis, right? If you are trading E-futures, you've had quite a bit of volatility already overnight.
Where did we go? I haven't even looked at it, Dan. Where did we go?
Yeah, we went all the way from 68.91 on the upside to 68.17 in the futures, which is kind of, it looks like it bounced right around that 21-day EMA, right around there. I don't know, Troy, did you real quick? I don't know if it's too late for market profile. That's where it kind of went on the futures down. It touched the low 68.17, and then we bounced pretty good here.
Sure
now
did.
68.71 down 20, at least right now, with VIX kind of unchanged.
Son of a gun. You know what's funny? I bought an ES put yesterday and I didn't take a profit target on it. I would have done great on that thing. I did, idiot. Still up on it, but that would have been a lot better. So I accept my own challenge to actually know what the heck I'm doing trading one day.
Does it show anything down at, like, when it went to 68? Where do you see like the?
I mean, not really. That's the bottom of that. That's kind of the bottom of this. Not bottom, but it's towards the lower half of that kind of break the range that we've been in.
Right.
If you look at it. So, I mean, first step is you have to get back down there. That's a quick rejection of it that we're back up overnight. But if we have movement during the day that approaches that, the thing that I would say is probably, okay, I mean, probably, 68.13. Where did we go last night? What was the
low? Was 68.17.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. So that's basically where we were, the low of December 1st. I mean, you think about the range we've been in. We've been in a tight range.
Yes.
And overnight it tested the low of the range that we've been in and bounced back up. So, you know, if they're bearish, if they're really bearish, they'll try to bring it back down there. Yeah. Overnight action is a
tricky Ricky.
It's a tricky Ricky for sure. So there's a lot of joy sometimes setting. I mean, I would have been joyful this morning. I just didn't set a problem. That's why I did it, though. Is you think there's going to be some sort of reversion of a 50-point move up.
Yeah.
And we did. We had it.
And there was. Yeah.
Yeah. I was sleeping like a little baby. Side note, real quick before we end. I slept 11 hours yesterday.
That is phenomenal.
I'm really proud of that. I went to bed at 8:50 and I woke up at like 7:50. Like, I'm very, very proud of my sleep schedule, like a little baby last night. I wore my sleep mask.
Yeah.
I only had to get up to pee once.
That's impressive.
It was a good night's sleep. So
that's impressive.
I appreciate you. All right, guys. Well, listen,